Most women don't realize how attractive they really are. We're our own worst critics, constantly focusing on every little flaw, every wrinkle, every so-called imperfection. But what if I told you that the way you see yourself is completely different from how the world sees you? Because beauty, especially as you get older, isn't about looking like you're 25 again. It's about presence, confidence, the kind of attractiveness that doesn't fade with time it evolves. And yet, so many women over 40, 50, even 60 assume that because they don't look like they used to, they're no longer noticed. But that's not true. There are certain signs, subtle but undeniable, that make you stand out. Signs that show you're not just aging, you're glowing. And the best part? Most of these have nothing to do with makeup, plastic surgery, or trying to fight time. So today, we're breaking down 10 signs you're a good-looking older woman even if you don't think so. If you've ever doubted your attractiveness, stay tuned, because you might just realize that you're turning heads more than you ever imagined. Let's get into it. Physical beauty fades, but confidence, that's what makes a woman unforgettable. Think about the most attractive women you've ever met. Were they flawless? Probably not. But did they carry themselves like they knew their worth? Absolutely. And that's the difference. A woman who owns her space, who walks into a room with quiet self-assurance, who isn't constantly adjusting her outfit or second-guessing herself, that's the woman people notice. Because confidence has a gravitational pull, it draws people in. And here's what most women get wrong: confidence has nothing to do with arrogance. It's not about walking around acting superior, trying to prove something. It's the opposite. Real confidence is effortless. It doesn't demand attention, it naturally commands it. And you can spot it instantly in the way a woman carries herself. She moves with intention, not rushed, not timid, just assured. She makes eye contact not aggressively, not timidly, but with presence. She doesn't apologize for existing, no shrinking, no playing small, no unnecessary self-doubt. And people notice this more than you think. They might not be able to explain why, but they feel it. You've probably seen it yourself. There are women who walk into a room, and without saying a word, they just own it. It's not their outfit, their hair, or their makeup. It's their energy. But here's the problem: most women don't feel confident because they're too busy focusing on their so-called flaws. They assume that their attractiveness has an expiration date, and because they don't look like they did at 25, they must be invisible. But that's a lie. Confidence isn't about looking young, it's about looking sure of yourself. And when a woman reaches a stage in life where she stops needing external validation, where she embraces her age instead of fighting it, that's when she becomes truly magnetic. And if you're thinking, but I don't feel confident, let me tell you something. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you practice. Every time you catch yourself criticizing your looks, stop. Every time you second-guess yourself in a conversation, correct it. Every time you think, I can't wear that, I can't do that, I can't pull that off, challenge it. Confidence is built through action, not waiting for permission. And here's the final truth, men. Don't remember the woman with the perfect face. They remember the woman with presence. The woman who made them feel something. The woman who was unapologetically herself. And that's something no wrinkle, no gray hair, no number on your birth certificate can take away from you. Now, confidence is just one piece of the puzzle. Another powerful sign you're a good-looking older woman? It's how people react to something as simple as your smile. Let's talk about it. A smile is one of the most underrated signs of attractiveness. Not just because it lights up your face, but because it changes the way people feel around you. And if you've ever been told you have a great smile even once you're more attractive than you think. But here's the thing, it's not about perfect teeth or some Hollywood standard grin. It's about authenticity. A genuine smile is disarming. It makes people feel comfortable. It draws them in without effort. Think about it: when you see someone with a forced, polite smile, it's forgettable. But when you see someone smile with real warmth, real joy, or even just a quiet amusement, you feel something. And that's what makes it powerful. This is why men often say they're drawn to a woman's smile. It's not just about how it looks, it's about the energy behind it. A real smile says confidence. It says presence. It says, I'm comfortable in my own skin. And let's be real, this kind of beauty can't be faked. It's not about practicing the perfect smile in the mirror. It's about how you carry joy in your expressions. It's the smile that appears when you laugh at something unexpected, the way your face softens when you talk about something you love, the way your eyes crinkle when you hear an old song that brings back memories. Because that's beauty. It's expression. It's the difference between looking good and being magnetic. And if you've ever caught someone staring at you while you're smiling, or if people have ever told you you have such a warm smile, take that as a sign. They're not just complimenting your teeth, they're responding to you. And here's something else to think about: how often do you smile? Because the older we get, the more life tries to harden us. Responsibilities, disappointments, routines, they can make us serious. And when that happens, people stop smiling as much. But the women who remain radiant, they keep that lightness, that ability to find humor in life, to stay open, to smile just because they feel like it. And that's the kind of beauty that doesn't fade. So the next time you catch yourself in the mirror, don't just check your hair, your skin, or your makeup. Look at your expression. Are you carrying the weight of the world? Or are you carrying a quiet joy that makes people want to be around you? Because a woman who smiles with confidence is a woman who looks alive. And that's a kind of beauty no one can ignore. Now, a smile is one thing, but there's another feature that makes a woman unforgettable: her eyes. And it has nothing to do with their color or shape. Let's talk about it. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. And while that might sound poetic, there's a real reason why eyes are one of the most attractive features on a person, especially as they age. Because beauty isn't just about symmetry or youth, it's about depth. And nothing carries more depth than a pair of eyes that have seen life, that have felt deeply, that hold stories most people wouldn't even know how to put into words. When you're young, your eyes might be bright and fresh, but as you get older, they gain something far more powerful: expression. Think about the most captivating women you've ever met. What made them unforgettable? Was it their bone structure? Their hair? Or was it the way their eyes locked in when they spoke? The way they could say more with a glance than most people could with an entire conversation? A woman with expressive eyes has a kind of magnetism that doesn't fade with age, it intensifies. Because when someone looks into your eyes and sees warmth, wisdom, or quiet confidence, they feel something. And that's what makes you stand out. And let's be clear, this has nothing to do with eye color or shape. You don't need to have piercing blue eyes or some perfect almond shape. What makes your eyes attractive is the way they engage. Do you hold eye contact when you speak? People who lack confidence tend to look away, but a woman who knows her worth keeps her gaze steady. Do your eyes show emotion? Some people's faces stay blank no matter what they feel. But an expressive woman? Her eyes say it all: amusement, intrigue, intensity. That kind of presence? It's rare. Do people often say you have kind eyes? That's because warmth is just as attractive as confidence. A soft, inviting gaze makes people feel safe, drawn in, connected. And here's the thing: this kind of beauty can't be bought. You can't inject it, contour it, or fake it. It's something that develops over time. It's in the way you've lived, the way you've learned, the way you see the world. And if you've ever had someone tell you, "Wow, your eyes are so intense," or "You have such a kind look about you," take it as proof you're more attractive than you think. Because people aren't just noticing how your eyes look, they're noticing how they make them feel. Now, your eyes may be one of your most powerful features, but they aren't the only thing that makes a woman unforgettable. Another undeniable sign of attractiveness: the way you carry yourself. There's a reason some women turn heads without even trying. It's not always about beauty in the traditional sense. It's about something deeper: presence. And one of the most powerful ways to create presence? Your personal style. Because here's what most people don't realize: a style isn't about fashion trends. It's not about what's in this season or what magazines say you should be wearing. It's about how you present yourself to the world. And a woman with a clear, distinctive style, she's impossible to ignore. Think about it. Have you ever seen someone walk into a room, and before you even process their face, you notice their energy? Maybe it was the way they put themselves together. The way their outfit felt effortless but intentional. The way they moved. The way they owned their look, not in a flashy way, but in a way that said, "I know exactly who I am." That's what makes a woman magnetic. And it's not about having expensive clothes or wearing bold colors. Some of the most stylish women dress simply but with purpose. Every choice feels deliberate. Their hair, their accessories, the way they carry themselves, it all aligns. And here's the best part. Style is one of the few things about attractiveness that you have complete control over. You can't stop time. You can't change genetics. But you can decide how you present yourself. Do your clothes fit well? Not expensive. Not trendy, just well fitted to you. Do you have a signature look? Maybe it's elegant, maybe it's edgy, maybe it's classic, but does it feel like you? Do you carry yourself like someone who respects herself? Because that's what style really is, it's self-respect made visible. And people notice this more than you think. A woman who dresses with care, even in something simple, sends a message, I know my worth. So if people have ever told you, you always look so put together, or I love your style, believe them. They're not just complimenting your outfit, they're noticing the presence behind it. Because a woman with a strong sense of style doesn't fade into the background. She stands out not because she's trying to, but because she knows who she is. And that's attractiveness at its finest. Now, your style may catch people's attention, but there's one more thing that makes a woman truly unforgettable. It's not about looks, clothes, or even confidence. It's about how you make people feel. Here's something interesting. One of the biggest signs that you're an attractive older woman isn't something you notice yourself, it's something other people assume about you. And if people regularly think you're younger than you actually are, that's not just luck. It's a sign that you carry something that stands out. But let's be clear, this isn't just about genetics. Yes, good skin and healthy habits can help, but the real reason people assume you're younger, it's your energy. Because age isn't just about numbers, it's about how you move, how you engage with the world, how you carry yourself. There are women in their 50s and 60s who seem far more vibrant than people half their age, not because they look younger, but because they feel younger. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who, the second they start talking, feels ageless? They have this spark, this curiosity, this light in their expression that makes them magnetic. It's not forced. It's not about acting young. It's about staying engaged with life. And that's what makes them attractive. So ask yourself, how do you move through the world? Do you stay curious? Attractive people are interested in life. They ask questions. They try new things. They never act like they've seen it all or heard it all before. Do you have good posture? This sounds small, but it's huge. Standing tall, walking with confidence, it instantly makes you look more vibrant. Do you keep up with your self-care? Not for anyone else, not to fight aging, but because feeling good shows. Whether it's staying active, keeping your hair well maintained, or just taking care of your skin, these small habits add up. And here's something most people don't think about: your voice. Women who sound engaged, who speak with energy and expression, are automatically perceived as younger and more attractive. It's a subtle thing, but it matters. So if you've ever had someone say, "Wait, you're how old?" Or if people naturally assume you're younger, that's a sign. A sign that your energy is stronger than your age. A sign that you're carrying yourself in a way that makes people pay attention. And that's something no wrinkle, no gray hair, no number on a birth certificate can take away from you. Now, being mistaken for younger is one thing, but there's something even more powerful when people remember you. When you leave an impression that goes beyond looks. And that's what we're talking about next. Attraction isn't just about how you look, it's about how you move. And if you carry yourself with grace, with poise, with a sense of quiet confidence, you're already standing out more than you realize. Because here's the truth: body language speaks louder than words. Before you even open your mouth, people have already formed an impression of you. And the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you exist in a space can make all the difference in how people perceive you. Think about it. Have you ever seen a woman enter a room and without doing anything loud or flashy, she just owns it? She doesn't fidget, she doesn't shrink herself, she doesn't look uncomfortable in her own skin. She moves with intention. And that's captivating. So let's break it down. What does grace actually look like? Posture that commands attention. No slouching, no hesitation, just standing tall, shoulders back, chin level. Not stiff, not forced, just sure. Movement that's deliberate. No rushed, frantic gestures. No aimless fidgeting. Just a natural, composed way of carrying yourself. A calm, steady presence. People who radiate grace aren't the ones constantly adjusting their clothes or looking around nervously. They exist fully in the moment. And here's something fascinating: studies show that the way you move affects how others perceive your attractiveness more than your facial features do. Meaning, you could have perfect features, but if you move awkwardly or hesitantly, people will subconsciously register that. On the flip side, even if you don't think you have striking looks, if you carry yourself with elegance and composure, people will notice you. And this has nothing to do with age. In fact, this is one of those things that often gets better with age. Because grace comes from experience. It comes from knowing who you are. It comes from not feeling the need to rush, to prove, to seek approval. And if people have ever told you, "You have such a calming presence," or "You always seem so composed," take that as a sign. They're not just noticing how you act, they're noticing how you are. Now, grace is powerful. But what's even more undeniable, when people, men, women, strangers take notice of you without you even trying. You're walking into a room, sitting at a cafe, standing in line at a store, and you catch someone looking at you. Not in a superficial way, not just a glance, but a look, a pause, a moment where they take you in. And here's where most women go wrong. They assume that kind of attention stops after a certain age, that once you hit 50, 60, 70, you blend into the background. But that's not true. Not even close. Because attraction isn't just about youth, it's about presence. And people, both men and women, notice presence. And if you think this doesn't apply to you, ask yourself, have you ever had a stranger randomly strike up a conversation with you? Has someone ever given you a compliment? Not just on your appearance, but on your energy? Have people ever said, "There's just something about you"? If so, that's not luck. That's a sign. Because here's the reality: when someone is attractive in a way that goes beyond looks, people respond to them. Men might not even fully understand why they're drawn to you, but they are. And it's not always about romantic attraction, it's about aura. Women notice it too. They admire it, sometimes even feel inspired by it. And this has nothing to do with dressing flashy, trying to get attention, or being overly social. In fact, some of the most attractive older women aren't loud, aren't trying to be noticed, they just are. And that's the difference. So if you've ever walked into a room and felt eyes on you, if people naturally seem drawn to you, if you catch strangers smiling at you for no reason, pay attention to that. Because whether you see it or not, they do. Now, getting noticed is one thing, but the real power, it's in how you feel about yourself when you stop trying to be anyone else and fully embrace you. Let's talk about it. There's a difference between aging and aging well. Some people fight it, some people fear it, and then there are those women, the ones who make it look effortless. The ones who prove, without even trying, that getting older doesn't mean losing beauty, it means evolving into something even more captivating. But here's the thing: making aging look effortless has nothing to do with luck. It's not about never getting wrinkles or having some secret anti-aging formula. It's about attitude. It's about how you carry yourself through the years. Because here's what people don't talk about. There's a grace to aging well. A kind of quiet mastery that comes from knowing yourself so deeply that you don't feel the need to chase what's gone. Instead, you lean into who you are now. And this is what makes a woman truly magnetic as she gets older. She takes care of herself, not to fight age, but to feel good in her body. Whether it's eating well, staying active, or simply making an effort to look her best, not for approval, but because she respects herself. She embraces change instead of fearing it. Styles shift, priorities evolve, and she flows with it instead of clinging to the past. She stays mentally and emotionally alive. She's curious. She learns new things. She doesn't let herself get stuck in outdated mindsets. And if people have ever told you, "You don't look your age," don't just take that as a compliment about your appearance. Take it as a reflection of your energy, your mindset, the way you've carried yourself through life. Because the truth is, women who make aging look effortless aren't the ones trying to look 20 again. They're the ones who have mastered the art of becoming. And that's real beauty. Now, there's one final sign you're more attractive than you think. And it's not just about how you look, it's about the effect you have on everyone around you. So, here's the truth. Most women don't realize how attractive they really are. They spend so much time focusing on small imperfections that they completely overlook the things that make them truly magnetic. But after breaking it all down, you have to ask yourself, do you see yourself differently now? Have you been overlooking the way people react to you? The compliments you've shrugged off? The attention you never fully recognized? Because if any of these signs sounded familiar, it's time to stop doubting yourself. Attraction isn't about trying to be someone you're not. It's about embracing exactly who you are and owning it. So here's my challenge for you: drop a comment below and tell me, which of these signs surprised you the most? Or, if you've always known your worth, let me know what's one thing that makes you feel most attractive. Let's get this conversation started. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss more content like this. Because confidence, presence, and beauty, they don't fade with time. They grow. And you've been turning heads all along. It's time to start noticing it. I'll see you in the next one.